What is good, YouTube? It is your main man, Nosaurus Kasuna here, and before we get into this build video, please be sure to check out these channels. These channels played a big part in helping me create this build, as well as the Thor Halberd build. I will no longer be showcasing Magic Halberd on my channel. I am passing the torch over to King Yabber on YouTube. Please be sure to check him out if you want to see more Magic Halberd build. Me and him use the exact same build, and let's get right into it. It actually did not take me as long as I thought that it would to make this build video. So let's get right into it. Actually, we need dexterity for the multiplier of piercing shot. It does scale with your base dexterity, so that means that the dexterity right now, basically the power of the skill right now, is going to be the power of the skill for a while. The main things that will increase the power will be crystal updates, and we will also be needing strength for stability. However, because this skill is not as affected by critical damage as like any other skill in the game, you can go agility and your peak damage will not drop off that much, but your stability will drop so much that you will see like major fluctuations in your damage. So I really don't recommend. Dexterity is also important for our accuracy, as you'll see later in the build. Our attack speed, we have remedies to get to max motion if necessary, so do not worry about that at the current moment. For our food buffs, we are going to be going with dexterity, DTE, strength, critical rate, and max MP. You can switch out DTE for attack MP recovery. For a longer run, I would recommend using attack MP recovery. This works really well with the skill because the skill, if you don't graze, it regens MP equivalent to your attack MP recovery. Like that value is what is considered when you regen the MP from using this skill. We are going to have our doggo set to automatically use. This helps with the proration. For shot skills, don't take snipe level 10. I got this at level 10 for testing purposes. For our shot skills, we are going to have piercing shot level 10. I made a video explaining how to use this skill. If you would like to have an explanation on how to use this skill, please check that video out, or you can check out the spreadsheet section of this video, which will be later on in the video. We will also be taking Vanquisher level 10 so that when we run out of Twin Storm, we can have some additional DPS. We're going to be taking Quick Loader and Crossfire level 10. These will be our side DPS skills. We're going to have this entire tree except for the Element Starter at level 10, as well as Hunting Buddy at level 10. Hunting Buddy is going to be how we maintain our proration. In our magic skills, we're going to be taking Impact level 10 so that we can have a 70% chance to tumble, and we're going to be taking Finale at level 1. In our guard skills, you really do not need Mirage Evasion for this build, but I would still suggest to take it at level 1. Survival skills, we're going to be taking Short Rest and Max MP, both at level 10. For our support skills, we're going to be taking Brave Aura. Be aware that Brave Aura does drop your accuracy, so there are going to be a lot of situations where you're just completely better off not using Brave Aura if the accuracy hit is too much. This ultimately depends on the boss that you're fighting. In our battle skills, we're going to be taking the entire attack tree at level 10 except for secret chase attack, and then we're also going to be taking accuracy up. That 10 accuracy does matter, trust me. In our hunter skills, we're going to be taking satellite level 10, focus level 10, and camouflage level 10. Camouflage gives us a free 20 critical rate and a bunch of free attack, and focus is going to be making our satellite arrow shots hit quicker, and this is really good for longer runs for having side DPS. In our Mananofu skills, we're going to be taking Bushido level 10, Shukichi level 10, as well as Kaideki Ranshin level 10. We want Bushido at level 10 because at level 10 this skill gives 10 accuracy. At level 5 it only gives 5. Again, that accuracy is going to matter. In our dual sword skill trees, we will be taking Godspeed level 10. This skill is not a requirement. I took it for the 15 agility so that I can have a little bit more attack speed, but again, you may not feel that attack speed in most content, so again, take this at your own discretion. In our halberd skill trees, we do take Godspeed wield, even though in most content you may not need Godspeed wield. Still take it because again, in longer runs this will be a very beneficial and helpful skill. Gives you more motion speed, and this is our remedy to the motion speed problem of our build. For our Registlets, we're going to be going with attack speed boost, shared destiny, sunbath, physical attack boost, zero stance, as well as extreme whack. So for the most part we have completely offensive Registlets. Shared destiny is a bit of a risky one. You can switch this one out for accuracy boost if you would like, and sunbath is not really a requirement. You'll pretty much end every fight at max MP depending on your party. So again, take these Registlets at your own discretion. This build does not use any star gems, so you probably can save a lot of skill points and take other skills that you may like or that you may need depending on your budget with this build. So again, you have 4 extra skill points if you copy my build exactly. Yeah. For your weapon, you're going to want DTE, attack, dexterity, critical damage, critical rate. For neutral, I will have the stats on screen. You are going to want to take the Fubit crystal for physical pierce. The attack percent really doesn't matter, so you can also just use Devil Dango. It's literally like a 1 or 2% attack difference. You'll barely notice that. And for our other crystal, we're going to want Supreme Evil Crystal Beast, which helps us with our MP, gives us short range damage, and gives us 10 physical pierce. All very valuable stats for this build, and short range damage is like the most valuable stat for this build. For our arrow, we're going to be taking the Dragon Guard arrow or any elemental arrow. For our armor, you are going to want stats like these. I plan on getting better armor in the future, but this armor I found on consignment board for about 30 million. You could probably find armor just like this for cheaper. And for our crystals, you are going to want Altadar for the stability from the strength as well as from the actual stability stat. And you're also going to want the 11 short range damage, which is a huge deal for this build. You're also going to want Remnant of Beyond, again, physical pierce as well as short range damage. This is one of the few builds where that minus attack speed is not hurting too bad. For our additional, you are going to want the Nyada's Tiara. This is pretty much the only additional gear that would really be suitable for this build unless you're playing with a bow in the party. For our crystals, we're going to want Evil Lafina as well as Remnant of Beyond. Evil Lafina is giving us that juicy 10% physical pierce as well as that 8% attack and 12 crit rate. And Remnant of Beyond, again, you know, you're going to want this crystal. For our ring, you are going to want the Red Pearl Talisman. I'll show alternatives on screen for all of these gears once again. And then you can also use a mischievous pocket watch for longer runs. For our Red Pearl Talisman, you are going to want Red Ash Dragon Rudis and Dutinen. These crystals, I have a bit of an issue with both of these crystals. This crystal is going to be subtracting some of your critical rate, which, you know, is not a big deal for BOWGUN, but it does give you accuracy, which makes this the best crystal for this build. And then Dutinen gives us 30% accuracy. This is like a requirement in this build at the current moment. We don't have any other offensive crystals that give accuracy other than Rudis. I think Rudis and DX Fighter have the highest amount. And for our avatar stats, you are going to want a total of at least 20 physical pierce for this. So again, take avatars at your own discretion or at your own availability. Once again, back into our spreadsheet only a day later. As you can see, not much has changed, but the damage has changed quite a bit. The build is pretty much the same that it was yesterday when I uploaded yesterday's video. But I've made some optimizations because I realized that motion speed is like really not a huge it's not a huge requirement for a piercing shot build. As you can see, I have the damage test here on BOWGUN. I showed Minty Ultimate last time as well. On Minty Ultimate, yes, now I am able to completely one hit with or without support, which is absolutely insane. I want to see if the same is true for BOWGUN. Let me look, I'm just curious. Yeah, with support, I can one hit BOWGUN. Isn't that a flex? But yeah, so with this build, we're going to be having the accuracy that you've seen in the video. There are absolutely no other ways to increase accuracy other than to have the exact build I have, pretty much. So yeah, proration is also a factor. If your proration's bad, your damage is going to be bad, and as your proration gets better, your damage will get better, and your damage will always line up with the proration numbers in this spreadsheet. So keep that in mind. And you know, also your damage will depend on the boss. That's a given, that goes without saying. So my damage does indeed line up with what you've seen in the Kusto run. So you know, it's really not much to show in this spreadsheet other than the numbers of the other skills. You can see the piercing shot damage at BOWGUN is very close to one hitting. I'm like 12 million damage off, which can be, you know, that can be fixed with a crossfire. So yeah, maybe you guys will see some really crazy BOWGUN mercenary solos in the future. I don't know, but my Vanquisher damage, it doesn't even compare to even my low defense damage for piercing shot. Like, honestly, piercing shot is just much better. It's much better than Vanquisher, in my honest opinion. If you're willing to build that non-graze, it is much better. My crossfire damage, again, this is only at stack 4 because that's what we'll see most of the time. But if we go to stack 5, this is what my crossfire is going to look like. So about a 20 million crossfire. Satellite arrow, again, that didn't change like at all. Satellite it's going to be doing some pretty okay damage, so, but it's not like our main DPS, so it's not really to be worried about too much. Our hunting buddy damage went up a lot because hunting buddy is also based on short range damage. Multi-hunt went up, and then we also have our graze, well, not graze, our fluctuations here based on our stability. We have 80% stability in this build, so we can roll between 80% to 100% of our damage. And so this is our minimum roll at maximum proration, as you can see. And you can see our crit damage in the calculation is still pretty good. We are at indeed 100% physical pierce. Our critical rate is perfectly fine. Our max MP is way overkill. We really don't need anything in this build, to be honest. Even our motion speed is honestly fine. We're at 3% motion without any consumables, not consumables, without Godspeed Wield, because this is with consumables. With Godspeed Wield, we are at 38 motion, which is almost 40. That's only 12% off from max motion, which honestly, in my opinion, it's not a big deal at all. I did have to put the Godspeed agility into this calculation because this sheet does not have the Godspeed. It doesn't have the agility stat in any of these stats section. I will ask Tomio to add that later on, but it's not a big deal. Most of your damage in this build is going to be 0 stance because, you know, most of your damage is going to be piercing shot. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, just something to keep in mind. If you also are using Brave Aura, your accuracy drops by a lot. Like, it drops down to 1784, which is far below what you need to be non-graze at BOWGUN, unless you have retrograde in the party. So again, yeah, you are going to want to keep that in mind when you use this build. And also, you know, if you take Berserk, your stability is going to be terrible, but your hunting buddy damage is going to be quite nice. But, you know, there's literally no reason to take Berserk for this build, so keep that in mind. If you guys enjoyed this build video, please be sure to leave a like, share it with your friend, and please leave suggestions in the comments below if you have them for future build videos you would like me to do. If I have the spinner or the wheel, I will, you know, try to dip my toes into it and drop a build video. If there's any guides or other video ideas that you guys want me to drop, let me know. I do have a large list of videos that I want to make, that I will be making now that I finally have this bowgun build pushed out. So be on the lookout for those, and I will also be showcasing a lot of bowgun content as well as tanking content. And if you guys want to see me live stream and help you guys out with your builds live, that is also an idea that I had. Some of you may know that I am dipping my toes into trying to push Christian content out as well, because I did just, you know, get baptized, so I do want to, you know, spread the gospel. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. I can also make a separate channel. That is completely up to you guys. Let me know your feedback in the comments below. Peace out.